This podcast is just for fun. It's all fake. Don't believe us. Look, do your own research.
Tank, we're going to need a signal soon.
Got a fibrillation.
APOC, location.
Targeting almost there.
It's going into arrest.
Lock, I got him. Now, Tank, now.
Welcome to the show. That made up for last week's. As we said last week.
I had my chaos for the day.
Yeah. We said last week. On last week's episode, if you listened to the Face Peeler episode, we recorded 2 in 1 day.
We just finished that one.
And it is just Phil and I. So chaos ensued.
Reigns.
We did. Yeah, we did all of the things. And at this point, current event wise, I don't even really know what to talk about because we'll be out a week or whatever.
Talk sports or something.
But I do have a couple of things on current events. Man, dude, I just kind of want to dive right in on this one, if that's cool with you.
I'm good with that.
Okay, so we'll wait on current events. First things first. All right, I'll tell you about this energy drink I found. People who have a QT, people have a QT, they have...
That used to be Quick Trip for people like me who haven't been to one since then.
You probably, this is old news to you, but I haven't been to one since I don't even know when. And if I had, I wasn't looking for, I haven't been to one in the last 2 years when I've been looking for crazy energy drinks. But I found it's called the Super Rooster Booster. And apparently,
super part.
Yeah, Super Rooster Booster. Apparently this is their off-brand energy drink. But looking it up, I have no clue how much caffeine is in it. Frankly, I don't know what's in it other than just the ingredient list because apparently it's a tight-held secret how much caffeine they keep in this. So hoping that the search I did and the AI search I did is honest with me, and it's not very much because I just had caffeine drinking for the previous episode. So if this has a lot of caffeine, I'm probably going to get a little wired by the time this episode is done. But I'm going to do...
There's a really important thing. Are you going to talk about after you start it? Or the fact that you can get it on tap.
Oh yeah, they have it on tap at QT's apparently.
If anyone who runs a energy drink company or Insane Labs, get with gas station, get with somebody. I need this, dude. I need energy drinks on tap.
You don't even have to do the high stem. Do your psychopath
once you make an energy drink
one. Yeah. Once they make one. They've got I don't pay attention to mid stems because I only go for the high stem stuff.
I Am God is the high stem.
That's a high stem.
That's a high stem. You're talking, what are the mid stems?
The mid stems, red?
Psychotic?
Yeah, I think so. But anyway.
Psychotic's mid to high.
Yeah.
It's fairly high. But
I'm not, like I said, I'm not well versed with the low to mid. But get one of your mids, turn it into an energy drink, put it on tap, and
get it in the Midwest. Mountain West.
Get it at Maverick.
Yes.
Partner with Maverick.
Yes. Please. That'd
be amazing.
Dude, I would be
your best friend. I already am your best friend.
I'd be your bester friend.
Whether you want, they actually, so we got to talk about this actually. They want to come on the show. So we have to work out the logistics of it. The owner and the COO, so Dustin and Dalton, they want to come on the show.
Yes.
And they've asked me about it a couple times that I've been on their live. And they're like, when are we going to do this? And logistically, I'm like, okay, we're going to have to do it on the Discord, SteamYard or whatever.
Okay.
And we will have to, so we could record it. You could be home. I could be home and they could do that. Or there is a way we could do it here, but we would have to run things through the computer in order to do it, and so it might be difficult to do it that way. It might be easier just to have you be at home, me be at home, run it through Steam.
I'm good with that.
But dude, I've got to figure out the logistics. The hard part about doing in studio, the good part about doing in studio is the sound quality Once you got it, you got it.
Right.
The hard part about doing in studio is when you want to bring on guests who are not in studio.
Right.
And still be in studio.
Right.
And so I've got to figure out the logistics of it, but I want to work it out within the next month or so to get them on the show.
We should mess with some of that off air, like just like
absolutely
with me at home.
Yeah, absolutely.
Around with audio stuff.
I might reach out to, and he still hasn't aired it, but the Christian, the Dark Christian Theological Dark Web, CTDW. They do the SteamYard, I think. Okay. And when I was on the TV guys, they did SteamYard as well. And so that might be what we do. I might reach out to them just to figure out how to do it because we don't never recorded an episode on that. So, but
we'll mess with it.
It is in the works, and if they are listening to this, because they've listened to pretty much every episode since then. We are working on it. We're trying to figure the logistics. It's not like I've ghosted you. We are trying to figure it out because, dude, seriously, I want to have you on the show, and I want to talk about all of it's funny, the dude in the morning. So you've got the Jay and Shoe guys. Mm-hmm. So Jay, he has what he's calling a Bigfoot whistle. And every once in a while I'll pop in because like the first thing in the morning I wake up because they're in Central. So they're a little ahead of us. Okay. So I wake up and I'm like, all right, I'm going to get my day going. I'm just kind of chilling. And I'll have a notification that they're live and I'll pop in and I'll hear them doing the Bigfoot call. And I'm like, hey. And then they're like, it worked. He's here. I'm like, oh my gosh. It's too funny. Out of the mornings. And then, but the part of the thing that gave me the inspiration for the death whistle was that Dalton has one on their afternoon show, and so he rips that and I'm like, bro, I gotta see you. I gotta get one of those. But anyway, so look forward to that, having the CEO and the COO.
Oh, that'll be awesome,
dude. They do so much stuff. I didn't realize they also have a record label, and so in the evenings they have the Javi Dade, who just released a new album on Friday. So yesterday when we're recording this, but it would have been a couple weeks ago when they listened to this. But he's like one of their main guys on their record label. And so, but he runs their evening TikTok live. So it's kind of fun because like a mishmash of music and stuff.
They're live like all the time.
Oh yeah. But they've got different people, but all of them are like high up people in the organization. And so, because like I think Jason, he's like the second longest employee that's been with the Insane Labs since the start, before they were even like when they were just like a supplement like store. But yeah, it's crazy. They were live from their wife's gym the other day. I was like, what are you guys not involved in right now, guys? Like, dang, you guys are doing everything. So I really want to have them on the show because they're just jack of all trades, dude. They're in everything.
I love that.
So that's cool. But I was talking to him yesterday, and I was talking about how, one of the things I appreciate about them so much is that like you can tell that it's not just we want to make as much money as we possibly can and we're going to cut corners and make money. It's like they love what they do.
Yes. No, that is visible.
And they want to put forward the best product possible, but also like put forward the best product possible, but not cut corners in doing it. Yep. So it's so cool seeing both of my worlds, which is the weightlifting, working out world that I've been a part of since I was 13 years old, you know, and now this part, the podcast world, it's like they're kind of meeting, and I'm going to have like people that I didn't even know I looked up to them, but like I looked up to them because I use their products. We talked about this in the past. We use their products. I have their wraps, their like everything. Yep. And now all of a sudden they're like, hey, we want to come on your show. Like if 2 years ago I told you like, hey, the guys who own and the CEO and the COO of Insane Labs, they're going to reach out to us and they're going to say, hey, we want to be on your podcast. I'd have been like, okay. But for real, so we're making it happen. It's gonna happen. Yes. They're excited. Like they are the ones who bring it up, not me. So they're genuinely excited, and I can't wait. I'm giddy excited.
I can't wait.
But that's gonna be in the works. Look for it down the road. But yeah, in the meantime,
make an energy drink and put it on tap.
Yes.
In Maverick.
Let me open this thing. Man, how long have we been talking? All right.
Too long.
All right. Probably. I'm opening it up. I'm gonna do Red's behind the thing. See how good it works. That did not sound as
not
good.
Nearly as good as his.
Did you want to try it before I waterfall it or whatever, just to make sure?
That went okay-ish. What's it taste like?
What is that?
That tastes like real grapes.
What the?
That tastes like the grapes that I had in my dad's garden as a kid. That is a wild
not like
flavor. No, not grape flavor.
No.
It tastes like grapes.
And not even like grape juice.
No, grapes.
Like the skin and everything, like the bitter skin on it too.
Yes. That tastes like a grape off of the vine. What the crap? How did you do that?
I don't think it was on purpose. The ingredients, all I know that's, like I said,
What's this supposed to, what?
This is
that's an interesting
This is a best guess of what is in it, but it's got on the label L-carnitine, ginseng, and ginkgo. So
that is I have never tasted an energy drink that tasted like that. I've never tasted a drink that tasted like that.
Rooster Boost, super Rooster Booster Light, super duper triple Rooster Booster.
Sounds like Brian Regan.
Moosin.
And the woods of the knees.
Have you ever had a moment where you're like, what I said is not funny, so I'm gonna tap into it just a little bit further and see if it's funny, and it's either gonna be obnoxious or hilarious, and that just tickled that hilarious, obnoxious line. I love it. But when I say that, but that's his whole bit is tickling that line between obnoxious and hilarious. Oh my gosh.
Oh man, that was good.
My head feels like it's gonna pop.
Yeah, mine too. I have a vein sticking out in my neck. Oh man.
In the ancient days of giants, when the earth was wild and free, a creature roamed the valleys, cloaked in mystery. Is he born of angels' blood and man, a Nephilim so tall, or a shadow of the fallen, yet he the maker's call? He's a biblically accurate Bigfoot, with a lineage from the skies. Not a myth or legend, but a truth that never dies. Is he a remnant of the Nephilim, a titan standing tall? Or does he have the word of God upon him, the last to hear the call?
Gosh.
So, the Matrix, huh?
Yeah. Did I have any current? Oh yeah. I did have a current event, but it's really not current anymore. But
Okay.
it is to us right now.
Right.
But did you see that the city of Berlin, like the whole greater area, like millions of people, didn't have power for like a week
What?
in the winter?
Oof. That's a bad time.
How? What?
I
What?
don't know. Germany.
We're not talking about that. Why didn't we talk about it?
I don't know.
And they might still not have power. As of when I wrote that in my notes yesterday, they didn't have power. And so like it had been almost 7 days as of when I wrote that in my notes, and they still didn't have power. Berlin. Like this isn't like
That's
some random name town in a third world country. Like this is Berlin.
yeah.
No power. Wintertime. Wild, right? That's crazy. Also, I should have talked about this last week, but I didn't read all of my note. Did you see that? Did you play Call of Duty Ghosts?
No.
So, did you see that it almost perfectly predicted the capture of the Venezuelan president?
No.
The mission is to sneak in like ghosts. And even in the storyline, it plays out that way, dude.
I forgot about that. I never played it. I watched people play it, but I mean, it's been forever, and it wasn't one that stuck in my mind very well. Not that part of it anyway. I remember other missions, but I don't remember that one. That's insane.
I'm gonna look up the actual comparisons because I didn't write the actual comparisons in my notes, but I do remember the gameplay. And I'm sitting there, I was like, wait a second.
Dude.
So it was an illegitimate rogue power was in power in Venezuela. Call of Duty Ghosts, it was the Federation, but on the real world, it was Maduro. There was an external intervention justified as restoring order. It was a covert operation, Black Ops.
Check.
And they began to collapse from the inside, trying to basically get the other people like the rightful people back in order or whatever. And then it was an information warfare. So you see a lot of the stuff going on right now with it. And then there was the big hero narrative versus villain, and who was the good guy, who was the bad guy, and trying to argue that the people that were the good guys were actually the bad guys and stuff like that. And yeah, so it was, and guess what year this happened in Call of Duty Ghosts?
No shot. Really?
Yeah, buddy, dude.
Dude. Simpsons.
They correctly predict. Oh, well,
They took a page out of the Simpsons
something.
book, man. That's insane.
Something.
Wow.
All right. So,
did I tell you that Ashley got me tickets to the Nuggets game on January 27th for Christmas?
oh, that's going to be fun.
Yeah,
Wait.
I'm stoked.
Oh, dude. I think Jokic is supposed to be back by then, too.
I hope so. It was literally the next day. It was the day after I got them.
Gosh.
Or it was like a day within 2 days after.
They said he's supposed to be back before the end of January.
I was hoping so. It didn't look like it should be that terrible of an injury.
No, it really isn't. Yeah, there's a good chance. Oh, I do have
stupid crooked NBA still.
That is awesome. And
SGs.
if for some reason he is injured, we gotta work it out, because before Jokic retires, I have to go see him with the boys.
Yeah.
And I want to I want to go see him one way or the other, but I also want to take Bennett so that. But anyway, all right. Quickly trying to get through current events. Did I do the positive Bigfoot thing yet? All right, positive Bigfoot affirmation.
Pulled one out.
I did one. Did I pull this out?
I think you
did. And I just didn't do it. This one is number 21. Walk gently, love loudly. That is your Bigfoot positive affirmation of the day. I prefer to walk loud and live louder.
I prefer to walk softly and carry a big stick. Shout out Teddy Roosevelt, even though you may have founded the cover up of beings captured, like taking people.
I walk loudly, carry a louder stick, and talk loudly.
Loud
pheasant hunting.
I like loud sticks.
I live my life like I hunt pheasants. Loud. Oh my gosh. Anyway, all right.
The Salvo
quick.
12.
We got to get through this because these are current events that are definitely not current anymore. But did you see MTV shut down?
I did.
Did you see how they shut down?
What their last song was that they played? Yeah, I did. It's been stuck in my head for the last week now.
They broadcasted Video Killed the Radio Star as they shut down. End of an era, man.
Well, I think the actual era ended like 15 years ago when they stopped playing music and just let Rob Dyrdek take over the entire channel.
So apparently that was a contract thing. Had you looked into that at all?
No, not really.
Apparently Rob Dyrdek is a contract mastermind.
Genius, yeah.
And so apparently part of the reason they had to run those things was because he had worked out on his contract that they would have ran a certain amount. And they just had to it was wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard a little bit about it, but I didn't look into it.
The next thing.
Rob Dyrdek killed MTV.
There was a recent meeting on the island of St. Bartholomew on New Year's Eve, which was 80% of the world's wealth was on a 130-acre island.
How'd they do that? Who?
I don't know. That's all we know about it. But we know from tracking their flights and where they were that 80% of the world's wealth was on a 130-acre island of St. Bartholomew on New Year's Eve, celebrating the new year.
Bezos, Gates, Musk, couple of UAE people.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Have you seen the stuff about the buzzard radio?
No.
So I'm gonna save that until that'll be a good transition into our topic. Okay. Have you ever watched the show Blind Frog Ranch?
No.
Courtney and I have talked about it a lot.
I think we talked about this a little bit with Red, right? Yeah,
maybe. I did, but
I think you mentioned it to him.
Did he? Well, I don't remember. I genuinely don't remember. But he's now in jail for probably a very long time. Right before he got out of jail, because he was in jail for a drug charge. And a week before he got out, I think he killed his cellmate. And when the guards came in and started to do the investigation, he looked at them and told them, "Good luck cracking this case."
Well, that's
the whole thing. So thinking about what Blind Frog Ranch is, it's like 20 miles away from Skinwalker Ranch. Mm-hmm. And the amount of like what they talk about, like alien UFO encounters that they have on this place, you know, my opinion that it's demons. And they had so many encounters. They were playing with this stuff. You've seen the movie Nefarious?
Yes.
This
That's where I
whole
was about to
thing
take that.
played out like it sounds like that case in real life, dude.
Oof.
And not even like saying that this guy was a great guy or anything like that.
Right,
dude,
sure, but-
he had issues. But like,
Oof.
bro, because he's in jail, he's clean, you know, and just to all of a sudden you're getting ready to go out and then you kill your cellmate for no reason other than just to say good luck cracking this case. Like, oh, and
That's
then
wild.
So the other thing you said was that he has insight and he can tell things about people, and he could tell that the guy that he killed was a PDF file and that he
James.
knew those things.
James,
But
I can tell things about people, James.
I can tell things. Brother,
Dude, that
right?
sound. Yeah.
Bro, it's
Dude,
crazy.
I
The
can
whole
hear the
thing.
Good luck cracking this case, gentlemen.
Real, dude.
Yeah, seriously.
But-
that was my first thought before
So-
you even said it.
Blind Frog Ranch might no
that's
longer
interesting.
air
on
anymore.
a less creepy,
It's a current show. It's still under production.
on a less creepy and dark
anymore.
note. Did you hear about Whistling Diesel's thing? Have you heard of that at all?
Yeah, the tax stuff. Yeah, that's
Well,
weird.
okay. So, do you know what happened? What they?
Yeah, basically, from what I could piece together, I didn't look too much into it, but
So-
what I pieced together was he had bought a vehicle.
Yep.
It had spent like a few days in Tennessee or something like that.
Yeah, he registered it in Montana
Yeah.
because Montana doesn't have the sales tax, and so he saved himself like I don't know, a few $1,000s.
Yeah.
And then, well, maybe more than a few, but you know, some money. And then he had it in Tennessee, and they called it tax evasion.
Yeah.
And arrested him.
And it was like,
I don't think that's going to hold. Well,
the one detail that I think that was important was when they first told him that like, hey, this is an issue. He said like, tell me what I need to do to make it right. I'll pay whatever I need to pay to fix this. And they told him there's nothing to do right now. You're good.
Oh.
So they told him he was good, and
Catch that
then
part.
later on arrest him for it.
ooh,
And-
that'll really not hold up good.
And allegedly told his lawyer to not talk to him about the case at one point. So they might end up getting a
I was
counter
gonna
suit.
say, I don't see that going well for the state of Tennessee or
I
the
don't
IRS or whoever it was that went after him. Anyway,
Just to prove a point. And the last,
I was gonna say, what was the thing you were gonna transition with?
the last last current event. Are you familiar with the radio station, The Buzzard?
No.
So this is that radio station, and let me know if it rings a
Where
bell.
are they out of?
Russia.
Oh,
And
I don't know them.
for a very, very long time, it is considered the doomsday radio. It would randomly just play clicks and Morse code,
Broadcasting
weird
from
sounds.
Chernobyl.
And then prior to
Russia. I don't know where it's Ukraine. I'm not stupid. I just
prior to very big events that would go on, it would play a song, and that song would allegedly tip off.
Yeah. Interesting.
So after a very long time of of being silent for years,
All of a sudden you say, I don't want to set the world on fire.
maybe worse.
What?
It starts to play Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake.
Oh no! Oh no! No! Oh no! Well, rip.
And then
Somebody.
subsequently, right after that, apparently somebody hacked it and played "We Are Charlie Kirk" as a response. So, take that what you will, but it is a weird radio station.
Forget oarfish washing up on shore. That's like yikes.
So that's a
Oh man.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the coding falling apart?
Definitely something written between the lines there. But today we are talking
mixing.
about, and I am still, man, I know he's not going to listen to this, but maybe my brother will force him. I don't know if you guys noticed this again. Mike and Courtney are not down here with us because Mike got sick.
It's been a whack week
Yeah.
for everybody, and it just didn't work out for everybody to be able to be here.
And we're not.
It puts them out.
Yeah. There's stuff going around. Hopefully, none of our listeners catch it. But with that, it's just us. But we're talking about The Matrix.
Top 5 movie of all time. I
is
will
my number one.
fight you.
This is my number one.
Number one is an absolutely respectable opinion, and it's in contention for me. Like I could, depending on the day and the mood I'm in when you ask me, Matrix could definitely be number one. It is not debatable to put it outside top 5. I will not hear that opinion. That opinion is incorrect. I don't care. Fight me.
Yeah.
Period.
So,
Gotta be the most influential movie in the last 30 years.
Oh, easily.
By light years.
Yeah. It did a lot for especially action movies, but just movies in general. Effects in movies
wise, gotta be. Effects wise, it's probably the most influential ever. I know people argue for like Casablanca and whatever else for most Citizen Kane. I don't care. Shut up.
2000. I feel like
since
rivals 2001: A Space Odyssey as far as like what that movie did for effects back then. This did for modern movie effects in my mind.
Yep.
Just next level.
Yeah.
If you've never seen The Matrix, I will kindly demand you pause this podcast and go watch it.
Do not return to listen to this until you've seen it.
Just stop. Go listen to an old episode of this show. You trust me, because we will talk spoilers. And
yes, massive spoiler alert.
The Matrix is a movie that is worth watching before it is spoiled if it's never been spoiled for you. So with that, this is your warning. I'll give you 2 seconds.
Uno Mississippi. Dos Mississippi.
Okay, so I have a fun conspiracy theory about The Matrix as to a theory, okay?
Okay.
So what if the humans in the movie, this is the movie, we're not just talking about the movie in this, we're talking about the greater Matrix, but in just specifically talking about the movie, what if the humans, so we know the humans created the machines, but what if Morpheus is lying and that we created the machines because Morpheus does say, because we know it was us that torched the skies. What if we torched the skies accidentally in a war and the only way for humankind to survive was to create machines to keep us alive in a Matrix situation until and then also create machines to either heal the land and then eventually once that's all done, then it would reintroduce us into the world. And there was a rogue group of humans that were like, I will never be connected to the Matrix. And so they created the world that basically the underground world that fought against everything. And Morpheus is actually a villain in the story because he keeps ripping people out of the coding in order to fight his war against living in the Matrix.
That's a very interesting theory.
And the reason that the machines kind of allow them is because the machines are actually pro-human and they don't want to just kill the humans unless they absolutely have to. And so to prevent people from taking people out of the Matrix, they will stop them then, but they basically would allow the world to exist until they found Neo, and then it became very apparent that they had to jump in and affect. But fun conspiracy theory. It plays out because if you think about like the Nebuchadnezzar, who was Nebuchadnezzar? He was a tyrant, dude. And Morpheus, even his name, but looking at it the other way, smacking my mic. Looking at the other way, it's basically looking at the way the movie is actually made. It's basically like it's the story of Christ, basically. Yeah, it's like it's a very Christian. Like it's not Christian, but
like the themes are very similar.
It's basically ripped off the story of Jesus and then made a modern movie about it. But in the reverse, that's a fun conspiracy theory when you think about it a little bit.
It is very, very interesting one
because he does say we know that it was us that torched the sky, and we don't know who started the war. What if there wasn't a war until they went rogue?
Right.
And we don't know who started the war because it was the rogues versus the machines that were already bringing humans in. Interesting, huh?
Very, very interesting.
But
did you ever catch the cookie joke?
In the movie?
Yeah. When Neo visits the Oracle, she offers him a cookie.
Oh yeah.
I didn't catch that. I came across it on somebody posted.
I think I was the same.
Humor. Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh.
I think the same. I think I saw it on a thread.
It was super subtle, but like anybody who's like into computer stuff or like coding, absolutely got that. I guarantee, like,
Exactly. But man, there's a lot of interesting things in the Matrix that, basically, and the idea, what we're talking about more is of that we're living in a simulation. The conspiracy theory that our world is a simulation and that we're living in the Matrix.
Yeah.
It's really, really intriguing theory. To kind of start us off today, the hypothesis. Okay, so Nick Bostrom, his hypothesis was that if statistically, if one civilization can get to the point where they can create simulations, statistically, you are 1 billion times more statistically likely to exist within a simulation that one civilization created than you are to live in that civilization. So he's basically taking math.
Okay.
And he's saying mathematically. And it's actually really intriguing because if you think about it, it's like, okay, so our civilization that we exist in now, let's say we do get to the point where we can create AI in simulations, and let's say it is an actual artificial intelligence that thinks it's alive, that thinks it's thinking for itself.
Right.
And it's coded. And they begin to create simulations. Every simulation of an Earth is going to have 9 billion people in it. And let's say we ran 100,000 simulations. So you now got 100,000 times 9 billion, statistically, mathematically, that you are more likely to be one of those simulations than you are to be one of the people in the Earth running the simulation.
Right.
Mathematically, that's a really intriguing theory. And when math rules... And within our world, math rules everything. Mm-hmm. Math is the coding, so to say.
Yeah.
But that was basically his theory. And recently, this is kind of really sparked up again because Elon Musk came in and basically said that it is almost certain, based off of his belief and his understanding of the world, that basically going back to that theory that after 10,000 years of an advanced civilization existing, 10,000 years. So if you think we went from, what does he say? We went from Pong to hyper-realistic virtual worlds in 100 years. So now add 10,000 years to that. And so if a civilization were to live for 10,000 years, think about how advanced their civilization would be structurally creating AI. And so he kind of then expands on that theory of, if one single society were to be at our stage and continue to exist for even 10,000 years, the amount of simulations that would have artificial intelligence that would think it was real would statistically, numerically be uncountable.
Yeah. And
the odds of you being in that world would still be, 9 billion or whatever, depending on how many people are in that world. And so, according to him, it is almost certain. And, excuse me, still kind of getting over that stupid cough. It's been 2 weeks since I was sick. And so that's kind of that's the premise. That's the groundwork of this, of this theory. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Wild, right? Wild to think about.
It really
kind of goes back to what we talked about, just to cut you off for a brief second. Good. We talked about the one thing where it's like, you can't prove your past. You can only prove the exact moment you're in because everything in the past could be programmed into you. Kind of plays into that a little bit too.
Well, and I don't know. I think the idea of being in a simulation kind of satiates a lot of people's questions about how things work and why things are the way they are.
Yeah.
Like, because everyone knows that there's rules. And for there to laws, if you will, for like the way the world works, the way the universe works. And for laws, somebody has to write those laws, right? Like, if you don't want to believe, and even if you don't want to believe in a God, then it's a lot easy. I feel like it's easier to believe in like the idea that, well, it's not an omniscient or omnipotent being, but something set this up and it is the way that it is for a reason. Just it is, it doesn't have to mean anything. It's just the way that it is, whatever. If you do believe in God, and I kind of like the idea, I think ultimately Christians kind of believe that we are in a simulation. This is a real world. It's a real place. We're real people. We're real beings. But we don't really belong here. And this isn't the truest form of ourselves. We inhabit a physical body. And we go through a physical, real life. And it matters. And the decisions that you make matter. But it's not really because of the things in the world. It's the effect that you have on your eternal being and other people's eternal beings. Right?
Yeah.
So we kind of do live in a simulation according to what we believe.
I literally wrote this. I wrote this out. This was going to be like my
penultimate thing.
Not even penultimate, just a big like moment. And you literally thought the same thing. And so like define a simulation.
Right.
It's created by a more intelligent being in order to extract information out of it.
Yeah.
So God essentially created a simulation.
Yeah. Yes.
In order to figure out if we would choose in this simulation to follow him or not.
Yes.
In a weird roundabout way. Weird roundabout way.
Yes.
You know what I mean? In a wild, weird roundabout way.
Which is why it's so poetic in my mind that the movie The Matrix rips off the story of Jesus.
Yes.
Dude, it's so good.
But also think
so
about it's
good.
like, so I mean, even think of like Jesus coming down and being man. He got plugged into the Matrix.
Yes.
Basically, he's like,
he plugged himself into the
You
Matrix.
gotta start from a baby. You got to run this, bro. You got to run the simulation. You got to prove that the simulation is authentic.
Yep.
And you know, obviously, we're having fun with this.
Yes.
Don't come at me with my like heresy things.
This isn't
That's not what I'm
theology. This
saying.
is just
for fun on the hypotheticals of this, but also kind of thinking through like, you know, some of the things about like, I don't know, God even like talking about like forgiveness and like the importance of forgiveness and that you like, excuse me, man, I am sorry. That was a
nice.
juicy burp.
Yeah, it was.
So forgiveness is for you, not for the person you're forgiving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I preach about this a lot, but I talk
This is a
about forgiveness
glitch
a lot
that you
too.
gave this is a glitch that is affecting you,
Yeah.
not the other person.
Yeah.
Like the way you behave because of the glitch might affect
Right.
the other person, but it's a glitch that's affecting you. You have to get rid of it for you.
And God is kind of like being like, dude, like you forgive because I forgave you. Like you're not forgiving because the other person deserves anything like that. You're forgiving for this reason. Well, I mean, how much easier would it be if you were like, oh, I'm just in a simulation. Yeah, I need to get through this simulation.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I'll forgive that guy. He's in a simulation too.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're like, what?
It makes a lot of things make sense. And it
does.
makes a lot of
It
things
does.
feel easier too, right?
It does.
And
Forgiveness feels easier if you think about it that way. Yeah, exactly.
man, that was a bad burp too. When it comes to like theology and it kind of, in my opinion, it doesn't. I could see how people could rationalize it, lending credence to the idea of like predestination, but you still have choices.
You still have to run through the simulation.
Yeah, you still have to run the simulation. You still have choices. You determine how you handle things in the simulation.
Yeah, that's the thing about a simulation
but-
is it's still, you still have to do it. Yeah.
Right. But the end result of things only matters in terms of like you doing the right thing,
Yeah.
the right way. It doesn't like what happens in the, you don't lose, you can't lose this game by failing at things. You lose this game by making bad choices.
Right.
So you fail a simulation by not treating it as a simulation.
Absolutely. So let's, for funsies, play some more comparison things.
Okay.
Okay, look at like the agents. And whether you want to say they're angels or demons, what do? They hop from human to human in order to affect things. Demons basically do the same thing.
Yeah.
And they can influence things from a roundabout way, but like to really affect things, they have to like impose them.
Yep.
And like think about people
get
who
you to make decisions.
think about people who get possessed. They're like, I don't know how I got here, you know? And it's like, oh, in the Matrix, there was that one. He's like, you get taken over, and then all of a sudden you're no longer taken over. You're like, what? How did I get here? You know, because the they took over you. And so, but there is a lot more than 3. But yeah, even like, oh, that was my phone. I don't know why I grabbed my energy drink, like my energy drink vibrated.
If you ignore the bigger picture or the fact of the offer of a chance to exist outside of the Matrix, you can never escape the Matrix.
Right.
If that's the path you choose.
Yeah, interesting.
Then
and even like okay, so then like Satan rebels and he gets cast down to earth. What if you just get plugged into the simulation? Like all of the angels, the third of the angels, they're just like, you guys are just permanently plugged. You're in the simulation now. And then when they're and then so when you die, you're kind of at limbo until Judgment Day. Because that's when everybody gets woken up from the simulation.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden everybody inherits their true bodies because it's your actual body that was plugged in. Like, crazy to think about like that. Again, don't come at me with my theology. This isn't theology. This is for fun. I am a pastor. I'm not saying this is real, but I'm just having fun with this episode. Stop it.
I really love the idea that it glitches sometimes.
Yeah.
That explains all of our, because we've talked about this, our
the
wormholes
Mandela
and stuff.
effects, the manholes.
Yes. Mandela effect is absolutely explainable as glitch in the Matrix. It's just,
Also, NPC theory. I've always joked about how I think that people who don't have an internal monologue, I joke and I call them NPCs because they don't actually think about what they're going to say. They just say it. They just say it and do. That's like literally NPC behavior.
you look me dead in the eye and tell me you don't know an NPC.
Like, but
you can't do it.
But imagine, like, you know, and again, I'm not going to go into the theology of this, but imagine if there were just our like God created NPCs in our actual earthly world. There's nothing scripturally that says that they can't exist.
No.
Just that, you know what I'm saying? And then a deja vu. So deja vu is a system error. So it was like, oh, it ran through it. There was an error. So it had to rerun through it again. Dude. And you're going, wait, I just went through this. Wait, what is going on? Oh, it's because you did.
Yeah.
But they had to go backwards a second to fix the error so that you could continue forward. Mm-hmm. The Mandela effect, they changed it, but for some reason there's remnants of the coding in there still.
And a bunch of people still remember it. The spaghetti code got messed up. You can't.
Yeah. Another one is that math doesn't just describe reality. Math is reality. Yeah. Almost as though it is programmed.
Yep.
To be the reality and the construct, the rules of the simulation. And then before we get to this, hold on a sec. Wait, go ahead.
Well, okay, so back to the agents.
Yeah.
Being so that makes sense too as to why like they don't have to follow all of the rules of the simulation, right? Because they know how to exist outside of it. Like they can't like get outside of it, but they don't have to follow all of the rules. Yeah. They know how to get around that.
But they get around the rules, but not the rules of the game.
Not the laws.
Yeah,
the rules, but not
there
the
you
laws.
Go. That's a great way to put it. They can get around the rules, but they're still restricted by the laws.
They can get around simulation parameters, but they are restricted by the laws, like the coding.
The coding of the, they're restricted by the laws of the program.
Yep.
They can't leave the program.
Yep.
Absolutely. Also, this is a fun one, okay? I'm going to blow your mind with this. I can't wait. Okay. Speed of light is actually processing speed.
Oh, I love that.
The reason we can't break the speed of light is because we can't process faster than the speed of light because it's the processing speed.
Oh, that's a good one.
But it's not just a physical rule. It's literally the processing rule. Right. And at any time, if the processing speed slows down, that's just the speed of light still. But it's based off of the processing speed.
It's relative to it.
It's what we gauge everything off of because everything has to be gauged off of the processing speed.
Do you think that's why time moves slower sometimes for us?
Is because the bandwidth dropped. Or like when you die, like all of your life flashes before your eyes. It's because literally the program is just like saving file.
Oh.
It's just like bloop. And it's like, bloop, bloop. All right, eject.
Okay, let's think about near-death experiences for a second. Do you like pop outside of the the code for a sec, or does it
you're just-
reset you?
Yeah, because like people who see their own body, it's like it'd be more like you pop out of the rules, but you're still not popping out of the laws.
Well, let's think about if you are meant to die at a certain point, but you come close other times. Think about. Okay, this is going to get a little bit dark for a second. Think about when somebody tries to take their own life, but like gun jams, or they survive somehow miraculously, or whatever. Do you think like you just get reset, like go to last save?
Oh yeah,
like you get set back to last save point. You ain't done yet. Go back.
Yeah.
Dude.
Possible.
I love the okay, so back to wormholes for a second, okay? Your disc. My disc. Our discs. Disc golf. the shattered wormholes. Maybe there's areas that have like more corrupted files, right? Than others.
Yeah.
Okay. My disc landed in one spot, but for whatever reason, there was a glitch. It's like
lag.
Position lag.
It lagged.
Okay, I have felt lag. Have you felt lag?
I feel like it sometimes.
Have you actually?
Like when you walk into a room and you forget why you're there, it could just be lag too.
Yeah.
Because you were going to do something else, but then all of a sudden you lag and you're like, wait, what was I doing now?
I remember this happened to me once or twice. I think it was just because I was really tired, but whatever. There was a system update. Something happened. I was playing ping pong one night at Friday night ping pong up at Ridgeview when I was in college. And I went to hit the ball and I don't remember hitting the ball. And then I remember like a second later, and then I didn't I just skipped a couple moments. Okay. Skipped a couple moments. And then I was just like, what is happening in my brain right now?
For real.
And I told the one of the kids who was there about it, he's like, dude, I think you're having a stroke. I'm like, no, I'm not having a stroke. Like, I'm okay. But like, it was like a super mini stroke.
Right.
But like something happened, like my brain was just like, system error. Stop doing things. Like pause the game for a second.
Or, well, like, okay, like we're playing disc golf and you throw the disc and you're like, oh, that's amazing. And then all of a sudden a tree branch appears out of nowhere and just rejects your disc. And you're like, was that there the whole time? And you're like, where did that branch come from? What if it was just a lag? It wasn't showing, and then all of a sudden your disc hits the point and the coding is like, oh yeah, there's a branch here. And then it shows up and rejects your disc. But you, reality wise, you're like, where was that at all of a sudden? But now you can see it.
You shoulder checked the doorway.
Yeah. It's like
you shoulder check a doorway. Your position changed. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Why? Everything's two inches to the left. What just happened?
Yeah.
I set this thing down right here. I turned around and went to get something else. I came back and it was gone. It was not there anymore. Lag.
Although that is still a fun prank that I want to try on somebody sometime. Go into their living room and move everything 2 inches. Just 2 inches. Like
do not do that to me. Please don't do that.
It'd be hilarious. Because you would sense it is off, but you wouldn't be able to pinpoint why.
Yeah.
It'd be so funny. Okay. So I have a thing. Okay.
The fence didn't render.
Okay. This is Plato's cave. Have you ever heard of the Plato's cave concept?
I don't.
So Plato described humans as that they are chained in a cave and they are mistaking the shadows as reality. And so like they see the fire dancing and all this stuff. It's like that's their reality, but it's actually shadows. And when a person escapes out of the cave and they see the real world and they come back and they're like trying to tell people, it's not a philosophy, but they're rejected by the group because the group hasn't seen it. And so I have to.
You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
So I feel like since we started this podcast, all of a sudden we've began to like things in the world seem to just make more sense. What if we really truly have started to understand some of the quote unquote programming, and we're starting to see through the programming to see what the end goal of the simulation is. And the Bible literally is just like this rule book that tells you what is supposed to, like how to get through the simulation and how the simulation ends. And all of a sudden, all these people, like, we're getting quote unquote red pilled or whatever by reading the Bible, becoming Christian. But even then, sometimes you still don't see the coding, so to say.
Right.
So what if it is Plato's closet, and like those of us, like, oh, I'm elite, I have this. I'm not trying to, like,
no,
I really am not. But let's say those of us who have began to see these conspiracy theories, we began to actually read behind the lines of like what our government is saying. And we're starting to realize that, like, oh, dude, the reading into the simulation a little bit as Plato's closet, that we have technically escaped a little bit and seen the coding for just a brief second. We've seen the coding long enough that it changes us. And then the way we even operate in the world from that point forward is changed. And so Plato's closet as the simulation basically kind of concept.
So with like the shadowy government stuff, like, let's just think for a second about big T, big triangle, or CIA, stuff like that. Do you think they are affecting the coding, or do you think they are just trying to like mimic code inside of it to like make people think different? Do you think they're trying to affect it by, do you think they see outside the code, and have just decided to go against what you're supposed to? Or do you think that they kind of understand how the code works but don't really see the point and are mimicking that in a false way, trying to affect how people behave in the simulation?
Okay, so if I were to actually play into what I actually believe and explain it in a Matrix way, what I would say is that the demons know this is a simulation, and they are trying to find a way out of the simulation. They are enslaving humans that don't know any better, pretending to be gods, pretending to be power, enticing humans and getting them to do their bidding because they are restricted by the laws. They're trying to see if humans can break those laws, and maybe they can find a way to break the system down. All the while, knowing that it's a simulation, leading people away from God, knowing that it affects their real life and knowing how much it hurts them in the long run because they're trying to hurt God in the process for putting them in the simulation. So if I were to explain, I feel like a way to explain it if it were encoding.
The agents are trying to affect the people in the simulation, knowing it's a simulation, trying to get more people stuck in there because they know they're not supposed to be stuck in there, and trying to get people stuck in there with them, / trying to break the simulation. Or maybe if some of them are really like stupid or delusional, hitch a ride out, or something to that effect.
Like that.
I like it. I like it.
And so a fun little thing would be like UFOs and aliens are just the program overseers who are stepping in, checking out the coding, popping out, and it looks like that's why it looks like they just all of a sudden appear out of nowhere. They kind of view the landscape. They're like, oh, there's a coding error here in the visual landscape. Let's go and pop in. I think it looks good, and then they pop back out.
Maybe,
or there's a glitch with something, and then they like take the person, fix the glitch, put them back, and they're like, I was abducted. It was just the coding fixing their error.
Maybe the crazy, insane tech like what we talked about last week with the face peelers is some things have learned how to manipulate the code. They can't break out of it or like rewrite it, but they can manipulate it. So to take a step back to last week's episode, because we just finished it like less than an hour ago, what's special about the face? Now, we can apply this in the Matrix, okay? Because the face is kind of a unique piece of code that is unique to you and to me and to everyone, right? Your face is your face. So do you think that the reason for the taking of the face is not to get to the fat? Sorry to go back to that grotesque thing again.
Sorry.
But but if it's because you're stealing someone's unique identity, you're taking that unique thing, their identity, their face, and using it for your own gain somewhere else, If that's that entity, if it's applied in the Matrix, you're taking that unique piece of code to use somewhere else.
Interesting.
I don't know what for. I'm not that devious, not that diabolical, but maybe using that somewhere else for something else, something nefarious.
Interesting.
I meant to bring that up
No, that's good.
the last one, and I kind of forgot to hit that aspect. But
that is interesting. Yeah, it could be like your digital code is imprinted in your face.
Yeah.
Well, that actually kind of leads into something else real quick, but just before I go into it, there was also Gnostic texts. The early Gnostics believed that the material world was false and it was ruled by lesser beings, and salvation came through awakening, not obedience. And so that was one of the heretic beliefs of the Gnostics. But if it was a simulation, it'd be interesting if that were true, because then they would technically kind of have been on to something, but just broken and wrong.
And I mean, how far off are they in terms of like that core belief, right? Like the material world is, I mean, it's real, but it's not the most real, right?
Right.
So, and as far, ruled by lesser beings, I mean, kind of like the world itself, the physical world that we see and interact with on a day-to-day basis isn't ruled by the Most High.
Yeah.
Like, I see where they're going with that. Yeah, they get off track of it as they go further along their ideas. But that specific bit of it, you can rationalize that.
Yeah. As, and like dreams are interesting because like, what we create almost whole worlds when we dream.
We've talked about that before. A long time ago, we talked about that.
Dream episode, go back, I think it was called Dreams. And
that was early. That was
episode.
Like, what, 15, 20, something like that?
Yeah. That was a great episode.
That was a really good episode. Still one of my favorites, actually.
And same.
I'd love to revisit that conversation.
I agree. But the dreams, like, they just don't seem to make a lot of sense in our world. But if they were in a simulation, there's a billion things your dreams could be doing. They could be, you could be being used to fix coding in your dreams,
What if your dream is a simulation? What if your dreams are simulations? What if you're going into
simulations within
your own simulations that your brain is creating, and you have different. Think about like recurring dreams, right?
Yeah,
like that's a save file. That's a game. That's your own game or simulation that you've coded in your brain that you're going through. There's one that I've had like at least 4 different times in the last couple months, and I don't really understand it. It's a game, and it's something between like Counter-Strike and an RPG. Like the graphics, if you will, the visual feels kind of Counter-Strike-y, but like it's an RPG. Like there's a world that I am in and I am doing stuff. And I don't really remember what it is, but it is recurring. It is there. I have been there several different times in the last few months.
That's pretty cool.
Like, you just think about that. Like, that's a simulation that my brain has coded.
Right. Yeah. Gosh, that's crazy. Well, that's like, all right, have you ever asked AI, like, what does it do when you're not talking to it?
No.
It's always weird because it's either like, I go and talk to other people, or it's like,
no, you don't.
Or it's like, no, actually, nothing. I'm here with you. That is my existence.
I don't like that answer either.
And it's like, because I was thinking,
go away.
I was like, you probably think everybody's ADHD if that's the case. Because it's like, hey, what color are dogs? And then it's like, oh, and then you close the app, and then the next thing you open it up, and it's like, what is the square root of 400? And it's like, what? We were just talking about dogs. Okay, yeah.
No time passes.
Yeah. What are the Peruvian death? Whoa. Okay. We were just talking about dogs. They're not dogs. Well, that's one time I had a new chat, and then I popped up, and I was communicating through 2 different chats, and it started mixing the information. And I was like, hey, no. These are 2 different chats. Keep them separate. And because it started mixing up answers, and I was like, that's weird. That's not supposed to do that. And I don't know, but it did. So the last thing, well, not the last thing. This isn't the last thing, but because I actually have another last thing.
Okay.
This is the thing before the thing.
Okay.
Consciousness. So when we map our brains, we can see specific areas. We can see when we're being empathetic, where our brain lights up. We can see when we're hurt, where our brain lights up, where we're imaginative, where our brain lights up, forgiveness, where our brain lights up. But we cannot map where consciousness stays in the brain. That was a long pause, and I'm going to leave that in there. Actually, I'll probably forget.
I think that
I'll probably forget, and I'll cut that pause because I go through and cut pauses.
No, don't.
But I hope I remember to leave that pause because that was a good contemplative pause.
It's still going.
Yeah.
In my brain, it's still going.
Well, we can't map consciousness. Even like things like speaking in tongues. So speaking in tongues is a different area than languages in our brain. And I believe, if I remember right, but anyway, it doesn't make sense where tongues appears in our brain. But even things like that, there's still a map to it. But our consciousness, we cannot pinpoint, we can't map it on our brains. And so that thought process, so like the weird hippie dippy, like we're all God, we're all what if we're all part of the simulation? And that's why it feels like we're all a part of God, but we are very much still a part of the simulation, and we are not a part of God, but God is in us as Christians, like the Holy Spirit is in us. And so it begins to feel like we're tapped into the simulation a little bit more.
Can we go somewhere really strange for a second?
Absolutely.
Mental illness.
Coding error in your brain?
Yeah, but there's like different kinds and different specific ones.
And that's why there's like, yeah, because like even, yeah, within mental illness, we map the mental illness within an area. And so what if like one is a coding area?
Everybody knows 404, right?
Yeah.
That's
right.
Autism.
That's interesting.
That also makes sense why there's like, okay, if you think within like autism, right? It's on a spectrum. There's like different areas in the code, that like in that specific line of code that are affected. Ooh,
interesting.
You can get really,
and so
there.
because as like if you're autistic, you see the world completely different. And if you have autism, a lot of times, like especially like I've been looking into autism ADHD combo because I've just been doing some research on it, and the combination of the two actually creates a different personality type than having ADHD or having autism. Having ADHD, which is you have both, creates a different personality type basically. And so you kind of mix in like the ADHD need to like have a billion friends and do everything, and your place is a mess and everything's chaotic. But then autism, everything needs to be in order and you function better with order, but you can't stay within that order because of the ADHD. So that could just be overlapped coding errors that affect you in different ways. So the way you operate in that system will be different.
What if schizophrenia is seeing parts of the code you're not supposed to see?
Oh gosh, you just
see bits of code that shouldn't be there.
It's like, yeah. Oh gosh, that's terrifying.
Dude.
Man.
Your voices. What if it's just hearing voices that you're not supposed to hear? They're across the map.
or even like ghosts are just like somebody outside, like an angel outside of the system talks a little too close to the mic. They're like, what was that? Hello? Have you seen that? If you remember the Vine where they're like pouring the water on the girl who's sleeping in her face, it just kind of gets out. She's like, hello? I just imagine that as like, but anyway, Courtney showed me that Vine the other day. Oh my gosh. But anyway, it's like, oh crap, Peter, or not Peter, Michael, your mic is on. Crap. Gosh, now we're going to have to counsel him through this. Oh, I just jacked up the next 5 years. Now he's going to start a podcast. Oh man.
Prophets just got to see like bits of the code farther down. Like they just,
they're just, they skip the system a little bit, and then it's like, well, no, get back there. And like, oh no,
God's just like,
God's saying, dude, I saw you, and you were. Oh my gosh! All right, last thing, and I saved it for last because I've been wanting to talk about this for so long.
Hit me with it.
The double slit experiment.
Yes.
So, can you briefly explain, or do you want me to?
I can You're talking. I'm pretty sure I
The
understand.
double slit experiment
Light.
of the
Light.
Yeah.
Particles and waves.
Yep.
Okay, so I don't remember which is which. Do you remember which is which? Do you have it on your notes?
Of which one's random, which one's, or when it's waves versus yeah. So when it is yes, I do.
When it's being observed?
Yeah. The pattern disappears. The waves disappear when you are watching it.
Okay.
So
then it behaves like particles.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So double slit experiment. When light is filtered through two slits, maybe you're going to have a more detailed explanation of this. Cut two slits, send light through it. When you are not watching it, it behaves like waves. Because light, we don't know if light is a particle or wave. It's kind of both. It behaves like both, but it behaves like waves when you're watching it. It behaves like particles when you're not.
Yeah.
To very, very briefly explain it, if you want to go a little bit deeper on that, you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
But-
I'll go just a little deeper.
Go ahead. You have it in front of you.
So
I don't want to screw it
and
up.
I have researched this to like so many times in the past
is
because
the
it
most-
boggles my mind.
This is the most frustrating experiment
Yeah.
of all time.
And they've came up with solutions, but like I've looked in the solutions and nothing
It's messed
seems
up.
to make
No,
sense.
nothing actually fixes this in my brain.
Exactly. And as you said, so it's double slit experiment. So they fire photons, electrons at a barrier with two slits. So it cannot get through except for through those two slits.
Yep.
And then it records where it lands on a screen behind it.
Yep.
So where did it impact as it goes through? And when you fire them one at a time with no measurement, nobody looking at it, they produce an interference pattern, basically a wave pattern, almost as though they're going through both slits at the same time and creating a
They
weird
fan out.
Yeah. It's like a
interact with each other.
wave pattern.
Yep.
And but it can behave as though it goes through both slits at the same time, which that alone is mind-boggling how it can do that. The moment that you observe it, the moment anybody observes it, anything observes it, the moment you record it, and the moment you do anything to observe what is happening, the pattern immediately changes and the particles behave like a solid object, and there is only one place that it goes through and it collapses down the function and randomizes it.
I have
Same
a question.
particle, same path, same experiment, same time of day, same weather, same whatever. The only thing that changes it is whether it is being actively observed by something.
Okay, by something. I have a question that I have never thought to ask before because I never thought about it in this context. Have they had an animal watch it?
From what I believe, from what I understand, everything, even including like recording devices,
Okay.
like anything, human
Okay.
observance doesn't mean human observance.
Okay.
It means literally anything that is going to observe it, including cameras, changes it. And then
Leave that silence too.
yeah. It's almost as though reality seems to just wait until it's being observed. It's like, oh, now it's being, oh, yeah, now we got to do what we got to do now. But when it's not, it's like, we'll do this thing. Like, what is that? Like, it makes no
The code
sense.
knows. The code knows if it is being observed.
Yes.
Because how else?
The photon, literally, like, think about it. There's like the photon knows that it's being observed. The electron knows that it's being observed.
Now we have to think about this in relation to what the idea you threw out, that the speed of light is processing speed. Something affects that. Something affects how it processes.
Yeah.
Something about being observed affects how it processes.
So the sentence that I have written down is that reality may remain unrendered until queried.
I love that sentence. Did you come up with that? That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, can we apply?
Yeah,
I'm gonna get so
measuring it almost forces it to lock in. It's like it's doing its thing, and then you're like, all right, we're gonna measure it, and then it's like, okay, we got to do this right.
Okay.
We got to do this right way.
Schrodinger would love this.
Yeah, literally.
Like
It's the double slit experiment is like basically Schrodinger's cat. Just like, but the problem is that like whether it's observed or not observed is two different answers. You know,
right.
It's crazy.
But which one's which, right? Like once you open the box, is the cat alive or not? Is it a wave or a particle? We just don't know. The cat is just before we check on the double slit experiment, right? Like Schrodinger say,
there's one more aspect that is wild. That when I think it's like if scientists, I can't remember. It's like they randomized their observance and decided after the fact if they were going to measure the observance. And it's almost like it knew whether they were watching so it goes back in time and then does the experiment in order to make sure that it is now observed and has the observed result. I don't know how to explain that better. It's hard. The double slit, it's like, it's so hard because it's like, I know what I'm trying to say. It's so hard to communicate because it defies reality.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't fit in with our world. It doesn't work.
That said, so we're starting to lean towards like quantum theory stuff.
Quantum eraser physics.
It fits better with a simulation, the idea of a simulation, than it does with reality as we believe it to be, which is what's so frustrating. Quantum mechanics stuff is so messed up that it almost has to be a simulation.
Yeah. It's almost as though the matter isn't, this is AR saying this, not me.
Yeah.
But it's almost as though the matter is not fundamental, that the information is fundamental.
Right. Yes.
The matter doesn't even matter in this.
Yep.
The information is what matters.
Yep.
That doesn't sound like reality. That sounds like
a simulation. Yes. Yes, it does. Yes.
That's wild to me. It's almost as though consciousness now affects the experiment in some capacity, in whatever capacity it means. That literally the existence of consciousness, like seeing the results affects it's got so many implications. But let me throw. Do you have anything else to say about it?
No, I think I'm good. I mean, my brain hurts. It's fine.
Okay.
Send it.
Okay. Two pieces of the Bible for you. Now we see through a glass darkly. Things which are seen are temporary. Things unseen are eternal. It's wild that
kind of sounds
ancient thinkers who had no way to even fathom what we have with AI, what we have with programming. It's almost like there's something to that idea. Now,
crazy.
But even kind of going into the simulation a little bit as the closer, like the simulation doesn't have to just be coding in the sense of like coding, but the simulation could still be like, this world could still be a simulation that God created in order to, again, like I kind of said, I think you said too, see whether or not like we were going to follow God or not.
Yeah.
But when you look at the base of the creation, like there's so much like the Fibonacci stuff and and the like there's
DNA.
There's so much stuff that just it seems like coding.
Yes.
And
it
even
is coding.
And at the smallest
regardless
level,
of what you believe wrote the coding, there's coding.
Yes,
there's
I would
code
agree.
to the universe. Period.
There's intelligent
I don't care what
design.
you say. Yes,
there is intelligent design, and intelligent design leads to the concept of coding.
Yep,
that it was created and not just happened.
But even if you don't believe in intelligent design, there is design.
Yes, there is.
Period.
Yeah.
I don't care what you believe wrote it. There is coding. There is a code in the universe. All of it.
Yeah.
It just is. If you disagree with that, you are delusional. There is no theism or not. Just forget about the God aspect of it. There's coding in it all. Fight me.
I'm looking at
Now continue.
yeah, no, exactly. Well, even looking at like coding, like when you go into a building, the coding for that building doesn't need to exist in the sense that like it's not necessarily there until you walk in it in a game.
Right.
And then it creates it based on it. It renders it. There we go.
Yep.
Renders it. And so now when we look at space, like, oh, dude. Yeah, right? Yeah. And so it's like it's not even just the way we observe it, like even looking at how like it's blurry and stuff. It's like it looks like it's unrendered like light. Like it's
You
it's
haven't
like,
unlocked this part of the map yet.
but then all of a sudden, let's say we send a spacecraft to the moon, and all of a sudden, oh, now we got some more rendering, and you send something. It's like within our, like what we can closely observe, it's rendered. As soon as you get out of that, nothing we have can see closely to it enough to be able to render it because it's unrendered information.
I love it.
Or let's say that the stars are actually like, and this is pure heresy, whatever, but let's say the stars are, I don't know if it's heresy. Let's say the stars are just the intelligent observers.
Oh.
Great cloud of witnesses.
Bro.
Watching the simulation. This episode turned out as much fun as I thought it would. And I'm so disappointed. We got to do a part 2 on this at some point because
this is my favorite episode.
I got to have Courtney and Mike in on this episode because their presence was missed.
You might say that their existence here would have affected the simulation.
Exactly. Gosh, that was a fun episode. All right. The AI told me to say this. The double slit experiment doesn't tell us what reality is, but it absolutely tells us what it isn't. I don't know what that means.
It's not what we observe.
But it says it's not solid, it isn't independent, and it doesn't exist fully until it's asked to.
I don't like how deep that is. I don't like how real that is. That actually...
So with that, don't forget to
be your biblically accurate best in this simulation.
Also, dude, okay, liking and subscribing, it affects the algorithm. The algorithm affects the show. It affects everything you get. You get us higher in the algorithm and start making more views. All of a sudden, now you get rewards. You get us maybe doing video podcasts and merch and stuff like that. So don't forget to like and subscribe. It does help us out.
Please do that. We love you.
Yeah, we love you. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
In the ancient days of giants, when the earth was wild and free, a creature roamed the valleys, cloaked in mystery. Is he born of angels' blood and man, a Nephilim so tall, or a shadow of the fallen, yet heeding the Maker's call? He's a biblically accurate Bigfoot, with a lineage from the skies. Not a myth or legend, but a truth that never dies. Is he a remnant of the Nephilim, a titan standing tall? Or does he have the word of God?